Nikola Jokic had enough of the nonchalant behaviour of his team, and it seems like he is demanding changes to come sooner rather than later. Obviously, with depth missing and the inconsistency of Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, we are likely to see some massive shakeup within the Nuggets. So, what did Jokic have to say about the current situation? And more importantly, which players need to be listening very closely? There is no other way around it. Jokic is one disappointed player because of the behaviour of the Nuggets front office. They haven't been doing any major moves in order to secure a competitive roster around Nikola, and it seems like this will backfire on them massively if they decide to run it back, like they initially intended. This is why Nikola doesn't have a lot of trust that things will change with the current setup. And when talking about whether or not they can win the chip next year with this constellation, he said, "I mean, we didn't win a championship this year, so obviously we can't." This does hurt a bit more than usual because Nikola is the first player in NBA history to finish a season in the top 3 in points, assists, and rebounds per game. Even though his blunt statement should open the eyes of some highly important people in the front office, we are not completely sure that is going to happen. Jokic has also gone on to address the lack of depth that the Nuggets have, which has been clear as the sky once he was on the bench and not playing. This is the primary factor at play if you want to make a deep playoff run and if you want to compete for the title in the foreseeable future. Elaborating further on this, Jokic said, "We definitely need it. It seems like the teams that have longer rotations and longer benches are the ones who are winning." So, who should be listening very carefully? It's definitely the president of Denver, Josh Kroenke. According to him, the comments made by Jokic are going to be addressed sooner rather than later, and the Serbian superstar won't have to worry about the same thing from the next season onwards. This was to be expected, because if you are a superstar of Jokic's caliber, you might have a thing or two to say when it comes to where your team should move. And when addressing the worries of Jokic, Kroenke said, "I heard Jokic's comments loud and clear. I think that I was thinking about the lack of depth before those words came out of his mouth. Just in how the playoffs, if you are watching the games, you can see yourself, as well as watching our games. Still, it seems like the team might not do precisely what Jokic is asking them to do." As of now, there is a general belief, which has been supported by Kroenke's statements, that the Nuggets won't make a reset to their core. This means that they might be ready to continue running it down with the inconsistency of Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. Not to take anything away from the Canadian superstars, but there is absolutely no way the team can fight for a championship with such volatile performance from such important players on the squad. And bear in mind, both of them are on massive contracts, so they will leave a huge financial hole in Denver's bank account if they remain on the roster for the upcoming season. When addressing the situation regarding the reset of the Nuggets, Kroenke said, "If you ask us, there is a firm belief that Murray and Jokic can achieve their ultimate goal. Can they achieve that as currently constructed? I think the answer, as Jokic said after the playoffs ended, was obviously no. We need to take a hard look at how we can raise our ceiling going forward." So, what happened to the Nuggets since they were eliminated from the playoffs? It seems like they are willing to commit with their coaching staff, as they are extremely happy with the services of David Adelman. The previous interim coach of the team has now been given the authority to oversee all coaching operations in the team, as they are yet to evaluate whether or not his services are going to be of great value to the team. On the other hand, he shares the same point of view as Jokic. Changes need to be made, not just in the depth of the roster, but in their shooting as well. According to Adelman, the team failed to make shots when it mattered the most, and this could very well be because of the inconsistencies that I'm talking about from Murray and Porter Jr. So, a trade window is definitely going to be opened, especially revolving around Michael Porter Jr., who has been rumoured to be involved in the package revolving around the rookie superstar from the Pelicans, Trey Murphy. In Trey's eyes, the best player in the world is Jokic, which has been established by his comments during the All-Star weekend in which he addressed a question as to why it's so hard to play against the Nuggets. But if he is to come to the Denver franchise, it's highly likely that they are going to give up one of their key players, either Michael Porter Jr. or Christian Braun. And if you are the Pelicans, you know that the opportunity with Porter is something that is considered a high-risk, high-reward matter. There is always the factor called change of scenery, in which a player who's been struggling a lot lately can discover his talent in another squad, and there are no indicators this cannot be the case with Michael Porter Jr. and the Pelicans. One of the reasons why the Nuggets could pursue Murphy actively is because of his immaculate shooting. They felt it on their own skin. In one of the games between these two teams in the regular season, Murphy scored 41 points on 13 of 21 shooting, including 24 points in the third quarter and a total of 8 three-pointers. His style of play would be a massive boost for Jokic, who will have a massive offload from his shoulders and can focus on doing what he does best, making the others around him better players. Of course, in order for this to happen, both the Nuggets and the Pelicans would have to accept that it's going to cost. The Nuggets will part ways with key players, and the Pelicans would head into a new era that might even see Zion Williamson being traded. Even the bookies are betting on the Nuggets to have the highest chance of landing this trade. They sit at the top of the list ahead of the Pacers, the Spurs, and the Pistons. There is a trade restriction on the deal, which doesn't allow Murphy to be traded before the 1st of July this year, but that shouldn't be an issue for anyone who is willing to land the sharpshooter in their rows. On the other hand, a solution could be provided in DeMar DeRozan. According to Paul Pierce, the former champion with the Celtics from 2008, the Nuggets would be very smart to pair DeRozan with Jokic primarily because of his play style. The Kings brought the duo from the Bulls along with Levine, but that didn't work as expected, and it could very well mean that they'd be willing to give up on at least one of them. Elaborating further on this, Pierce said, "For the next 5 years, if you got the best player, you got to put some pieces. I feel like if they had a DeMar DeRozan with that team right now, with Joker, he wouldn't need to be the best player or the second best player every night. DeMar is going to give you more than what Michael Porter Jr. gave you." Although Porter Jr. was one of the key pieces for Denver's 2023 title, chances of him remaining with the Nuggets are getting bleaker by the day. With all this in mind, do you think that Jokic's statement about the depth of his team needs to be addressed in a more proper manner? And if so, who do you think they should bring in at the upcoming deadline? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.